Greetings, it is the TonicMan with you once again. Folks, you heard about JC Tonic in the intro, and that's what we've got on the label. But many of you may not have noticed on the label also you will see the youth solution. Why is that? Well, that's what you're going to hear about tonight, but let me tell you how this came about. I do believe it had to do with when I first began drinking this wonderful, miraculous elixir. In 1943, my dad started to commercialize it, and he had just built us a new home in a suburb outside of Quebec City called Sillery, 19 Dixon Street. Boy, that's like it was yesterday. I can see the house. I can see our beautiful playroom. My brother and I, Norman, he's 2 years older than I am. We had this great playroom. We were in heaven. Didn't last long. Soon my dad was bringing in tanks, equipment. He converted it into an oratory. So he had to do that because all of a sudden the demand was so great. He couldn't make it in his small vessels he was doing it, so he had 100-gallon tanks, and he had an extractor for the herbs, and boy, oh boy, was that ever rolling. And he had these two garages. He made one into a warehouse, one into a filling room. There was a fellow he had working. His name was La Flamme. I remember he used to glue labels on the bottle and fill the bottles and pack and load people's cars. They would come in, and shipping would used to go by train, Canadian National Railroads. Oh, good Lord. And they were in glass bottles. The breakage, was it ever incredible? Well, during the war, my dad could not get bottles. I mean, he had to buy at the bottle exchange, the used bottle place. And he bought old whiskey bottles. Those were the first bottles he used. And he sterilized them and used them. And they were the 40-ounce whiskey bottles. And La Flamme would slap a label on. Norman and I would rush home after school to go down and be with him and see what he's doing. And he taught us how to put glue on the labels and how to fill, and we were his assistants. So this started when I was young, but I didn't drink it because it tasted kind of, I thought, crummy. And my dad said to my mom, Elena, make sure the boys drink the preparation. Well, we didn't want to drink it, but when I was about 10, coming up to 11, I started getting a couple of pimples. It turned out to be kind of a case of acne. And I was really discouraged. I was starting to figure out what girls were almost at that time. And so I said, Dad, what'll I do? He says, drink the preparation. Well, I didn't want to. And, at 10 years old, my sister had gotten married to a physician and a surgeon, and he had a 50-bed hospital. And, I mean, he was a rock and roll surgeon. And he says, don't drink the snake oil. I'll give you the good stuff. He had soaps and ointments and all kinds of stuff. Everything I took, they got worse and worse. And I was 11, pushing, going to soon be 12. Dad, what'll I do? He says, I told you last year, drink the preparation. Well, I finally started drinking it, folks. In 3 months, there was no pimples. In 6 months, all the craters I made in my skin were gone. My skin was getting nice and smooth. I was happy talking to the girls, let me tell you. I got smart. At the same time, I started drinking it on a regular basis. And everybody at school laughed at me. I had this flask. I always took a bottle with me, and they'd laugh at me and thought my old man was a mad scientist making some kind of snake oil. That's the way it went, because medical treatments were coming up strong. The pharmaceutical industry was taking over. Herbal and supplemental things were going by the board. And my dad was there La Flamme would fill up cars. There were even cars driving all the way from the U.S. They would fill up their cars with as much as they could take and drive back over. And so I continued drinking it through high school. Every time I had a date, I would tell the gal, I said, you should drink this. And she took a taste and, most of them spat it out and then laughed at me. That was the end of my date. But some of them continued drinking it. And over maybe about a 10-year period, I realized that all the gals I went out with that did take it, because even if I didn't go out with them anymore, I'd supply them and they kept drinking it. Those that drank it over a 10-year period looked 10 years younger than those that laughed at me. And I thought, wow, there's something about this. I'll keep drinking it. And so it saved my life over time I was in school and in the 60s and 70s. And I always looked much younger than most other people of my age, even then. And when I started the KM company, the Matol company, I had a partner who was 13 years younger than me. And the first thing he said to me when we met about a year before we started the business, he said, what do you do to keep energetic and you look young? And I said, I'm drinking this preparation that my dad used to make in the 40s and 50s. And he says, you think it would work? I have some kind of an itch I get every autumn, like an allergy. I said, probably. And he drank it and it worked. And that's the reason that the whole Matol business started. So over the years, I looked younger, and I just continued to be younger than most people my age. And now I'm pushing 86. Folks, I have to tell you, I don't know if I'm 10 years younger looking or 15 years younger looking. Some people say I look in my 60s. Well, if I look in my 60s, that would be like 15 to 20 years younger. If that's the case, boy, am I happy. But I can tell you, my body is younger because all the systems are working. I sleep good, I poop good, I eat well, I don't have stomach problems, I don't gain weight. If I have too many desserts, I got to lay off them for 2 or 3 pounds to disappear. I have energy. I'm sure I can keep up with certainly anybody at 65, maybe somebody at 55. So I really believe it's a youth solution, and tonight we have a guest who's going to actually prove it to you. We've sent those emails out already, and you who have received them have seen the difference of this lady, what she looks like. I mean, this is like night and day, these two pictures. One before, she was not even 60, maybe her late 50s. I'm not sure. She'll correct it when she gets on the call. And the other one, she's 84. I mean, what an incredible change for the better. That means that not only me, people who drink this on a regular basis, she's only been drinking it for maybe, I don't know, since 1998 or something, so maybe 30 years. Boy, oh boy. I've been drinking it for like 60 years. But I speak to people who have also been drinking for 30 and 40 years. They all look at least 10, 15 years younger. They have energy. And you know what else, everybody? It's the attitude. They're happy. They don't have stress. And we all have stress, no matter what your socioeconomic level is in life. Everybody has stress in this country. Everything's going to pot. So people are stressed and they're wary and they're afraid and the fear, but not people on the tonic. They seem to get above that. That's because the inside of the body is functioning like a finely tuned racing car. It's not chugging along on 7 cylinders instead of 8. So it's in much better shape. And that happens because the body is regenerating itself on a regular basis. It doesn't allow it to get out of alignment or the spark plug starting to miss. It is looking after itself as we drink the tonic, even though we all go through the same problems and the stress levels and the poor food and whatever, the pesticides and whatever. Everybody still on the tonic feels and looks better. And it's not a dream, because what do they say? A photo is worth 1,000 words. In this case, 2,000 words. in Ruthie's case and in many others. So I talk to folks regularly like Ruthie who have been drinking it for 30 plus years, and they all report the same thing. They look younger, people think they're younger, they have energy, their attitude is better, they're smiling, they're happier, their brain works, and all the faculties work much better. They sleep well, they poop well, and so on. Not like people in general, in this country in particular, but in Canada and many other countries coming up strong, joining the good old US of A in poor health. It's terrible. It's just terrible. It's so sad. And it all can be repaired by something, yes, called JC Tonic, the youth solution. So I would like to introduce our guest with the most. Ruthie, are you there?
I am, Anthony. Yes, I'm here.
Ruthie, my dear, you know what to do. Tell them how you did this.
Hello, everyone. This is the youngest lady on this side of this earth. My name is, again, I know you all know Ruthie N. I have been taking the youth solution about 25 years now, and it's truly a youth solution. I showed my granddaughter, a 6-year-old, you know, the truth come out the mouth of a babe. I said, oh, look at these beautiful pictures. She says, Nana, why are you hanging out with that ugly lady on the left? I said, whoa, that's me. She said, no, it's not, Nana. No, it's not. So she could tell the difference in the pictures. She just said it's definitely not me. I've been taking the product now, the JC Tonic. I call it the Youth Solution, the whole body tonic, because my body is whole again. I was in pain, rain around my knee, my eyes, hot flashes. You can see the picture. I was a mess. I have not had a pain in the hot flashes. I can't tell my age. Every year I look better. I have a lot of energy. I'm laughing. I'm strong. My doctor gave me another clean bill of health. She said, are you going to take your flu shot this year? I said, no, ma'am. She says, why? I said, because why are you going to give me a dose of something you're trying to keep me from getting? She says, oh, you know it's recommended, I said, for those who want to take it. I said, but it's not mandatory. I said, I know you're a new doctor, and I said, my doctor told me that I was the healthiest patient that she had for the last 4 years. I said, so let's get off on the right track. I said, this is what I take. I take this whole body tonic. She says, oh, okay. And I put the bottle down. So then she went to testing me and checking my vitals, and your blood came back perfect, and I already knew it was going to come back great because we know life is in the blood. Whew. She said, check my heart, and I all no edema in your legs, and she just went all over my body. Your heart good, your kidney. I said, thank you, ma'am. She said, your body is in great health. I said, well, thank you. She said, oh, and you're 84? I said, yes. I said, but the rest of my doctors said I was in an 84, but in a 50-year-old body. I said, and I'll take it. She says, well, you got one, baby. You got one. I said, well, thank you, Doc. So I moved in this beautiful apartment. All the energy I'm telling y'all. And I know I'm looking good, the body. I can't tell my age. I push it, and I cannot. 80, I cannot tell my age. I'm waiting to see if I'm going to feel old or how I'm going to feel. I feel nothing but happiness, healthy. I'm strong. I can move around. I'm in a townhouse with 17 stairs. I just can run up those stairs and come down without any pain. So I was out here in the community, get up, take my shower, have my breakfast, and clean my house. Anthony, you've been to my house. You know I keep a spotless house. And about 9:30 or 9:45, I'm out the door trying to see what I can do in the neighborhood. Not knowing they're watching me, I got the Spotlight Award for the village. The Spotlight. I went, I didn't know they was watching me. I'm just doing what I think I'm supposed to do. They have us doing little activities and everything, and I'm on it. And so I finish, and I go to the office, and she was laughing. She says, and then this little Miss Ruthie said, we don't know, so she's beautiful. She come in the office, and before we can get straightened out, she want to see what we can do, and I let her know I'll finish my work, so I came to see if I could be of service to you. So tonight I went to a class, and when I walked through the door, the young lady said, ooh, here come Miss Show-Off. Here come Miss Show-Off. I said, excuse me? She said, yeah, that's the lady with all the energy that everybody want to be like. I said, well, ma'am, if you showing off, I said, oh, by the way, how many times you see me showing off? She said, well, you the same every time I see you. I said, well, people showing off, they change it up. They can't be the same every time you see them. I said, so it's the real Ruthie. I said, no, ma'am, I'm not a show-off. I said, my body works. I'm healthy. Yes, ma'am, I'm healthy, happy, loving, and I said, and I want to teach you all how to do the same. She said, oh, we all came down the other day so you could speak to us so we could be like you. I said, you can't be like me. You have to be the best you that you can be. I said, so I'm teaching a class on change your brain, change your life. Change your brain, change your life. I had 15 people in the class the first day with a notepad and everything else to hear me speak, so they could be like me. And I said, whoa. I said, look, I'm Dr. Amon's host. Oh, but we want to be like you. No, you can't be like me. I'm Dr. Amon's host, and he will teach you, and I will teach you later what I'm doing. You still can't be Ruthie, but you can be the best that you can be. You can be the best that you can be. I said, yes, I'm happy, and God knows I don't know. Yes, it's a youth solution because I do, Anthony. I always try, but I'm turning some heads at 84, ladies and gentlemen. I'm turning some heads. I might even start dating again. I'm telling you, I'm a cat's meal, y'all.
Hi, Ruthie.
The product works, y'all. Just try it. Try it. It's the only whole body tonic in the world. And I know my body is whole, healthy, happy, pain-free, hot flash-free for sure, and love it every minute of it.
Ruthie, tell everybody your story when we first met and you first started drinking it. It was such an incredible story. You told me you had a ring around the eyes, a broken wrist.
Oh, when I first got introduced to the JC Tonic, which my sister and I, we call it, she brought it up as Jesus Christ Tonic. I had short hair, ring around my eyes, had just broken my patella, and hot flashes, flashing everywhere. So I had to drive David, my husband, away after 50-some years of marriage. I was a mess. He said, baby, I ain't going nowhere, but I knew I was driving that man crazy, okay? So the president came to my home, Roger. I was the first person to get the tonic in Florida. And I was called the first lady, Anthony, remember, for a long time.
Yep.
And I bought a lot of cases, and I started drinking it. The first week, all my pains went away, my hot flashes went away. I poured the Primrose down the drain, ladies and gentlemen. Poured them down the drain. Anthony used to tease me, he said, now the fish having hot flashes.
Is that the Primrose or something? Huh?
Yeah, the Primrose. Yes. Yeah. You used to tell, well, now the fish having hot flashes. I don't care. I'm not having any hot flashes anymore. And when a person get a broken, anything break, when they say it's cold or rainy, they have pain. I have not had any pain in my knee. No pain at all. I can run, I can squat, I can bend, I can do anything, and I'm still pain-free in my knee. So I tell people that I'm pain-free, stress-free, debt-free, good-looking, and a happy woman at the age of 84. It's a new beginning for my life.
And I think, Ruthie, in all these years, you never had to pay for any tonic that you drank for yourself. You always had plenty of people who were drinking it.
Yes, and I have never missed an ounce. I take it every day, and that's all I take. I'm medicine-free, no medicine.
What a story. And folks, this is, Ruthie's the first lady, and it's a remarkable story, and look at the change and look at the difference in the age. But there are a lot of other people who are along the same lines. They look 10, 20 years younger, feel younger, and the same kind of thing has happened. All their woes disappear. All the aches and pains disappear. All of them, their doctors are saying they're much healthier than they used to be. So it's not just a one-off, maybe Ruthie and me. It's anybody who sticks with it and drinks that famous 1 ounce a day. You know, an ounce a day will keep the doctor away, that's for sure.
Yes.
And Ruthie is the proof in the pudding, as they say. Ruthie, what a story, and it hasn't ended. I went to Ruthie's birthday party when she was 80 years old, so now I'm waiting for the 90th birthday party, and the way she's going, she's going to be, you should have seen her dancing at that party. Holy cow! Wait till she's 90, she'll still be doing the same thing because her body is younger, folks. It's the youth solution. Her body is younger. Yours can be young like this as well, even though you've abused it, even though you're having trouble stopping to abuse it. I talked to another fellow ambassador a few months ago who was an alcoholic. You heard him on the call. He said he would start drinking 30 years ago in the morning and fall on his face at night for 30 years. He went up to 4 ounces a day on the tonic, and he stopped drinking. When I talked to him, he hadn't had a drink for a month. I told him, I said, don't kill yourself. Have a drink once in a while if you have to. The problem with you is the excess. You know, our bodies are able to do a little bit of everything once in a while. A little bit of junk food, a little bit of booze, a little bit of whatever. But it's the excess that we're experiencing, and particularly in this country, the excess poor food. So if you have children or grandchildren, get those food habits changed. That's a big, big part of it. And I went to Ruthie's house many times and ate her food. She always makes good food, real food, not the plastic kind. So that's part and parcel of it. But even if you don't, we've had people who were junk food 5 times a day. We're going to be featuring another person in another call. He lost 100 pounds in 8 months on 4 ounces a day. All he ate was junk food. But the beautiful part of that, of course, he was happy about the weight loss, but his diet started to change on its own. He did not have to force the issue. And yours will too. Once the body starts to feel better, it wants better food. It wants better sleep. It wants some exercise. And all those things start to come into play. Look at Ruthie. She's jumping around like a youngster. So, Ruthie, of course, we can go on with the youth solution and all the people that even you and I all know that kept on it over the years feel a lot younger.
And Anthony, one more thing I want to tell them, and you know this also. It also balances your body, and I'm also wrinkle-free. I have no wrinkles.
A great deal of that comes from inside and the skin, but there's something else for the outside of the skin, right?
Yes, the Helena. Yes.
Ruthie's been using that all along, and that was a product my dad made for my mom back in 1950. It's been improved a bit with some of the updated emollients and so on that have been discovered over the decades. But basically, it has a big shot of JC Tonic in it. That's the water phase of the cream is made with JC Tonic, so it has all those great herbs and the minerals and so on. And if you're not using it, boy, oh boy, give it a try. Not only the ladies, the men as well. Folks, you know, skin is skin. Woman, man, child, skin is skin. And it'll help greatly to keep that young look that you're looking for. Yeah, Ruthie, what a 30, 40 years this has been. 30 years, I guess, 1997.
Yes.
Man, oh man. Well, I appreciate very much you sharing this with us, and your photos are going to go down in history. Folks, just send those photos out to everybody you know and tell them, look at this. You don't have to say anything else. You know that old adage about a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, this is worth 2,000 words. I mean, you just show people before and after and tell them she's 59 or thereabouts in the before and 84 in the after. Believe me, they're going to knock your door down to get some of this tonic because they too want to stay young. The only difficult part for you and for everybody is staying on it. Well, that's just the same as everything in life. You got to stick with the good program and stay with it. It'll serve you well. So the youth solution it is, folks, and we would like to feature any and all of you who have this kind of a before and after event in your life, and it doesn't have to be 30 years. We have pictures of people who have changed in 20 years, in 10 years, in 5 years. Enough of a change that you can see there's a big change. But then it just gets better and better, as in the case of Ruthie. Ruthie started to look really, really great from the beginning. But she just got better and better and better, and the skin got nicer and softer and more youthful. So y'all can do the same thing. Ruthie, darling, I appreciate you. You know how much. And
I do. You are
thank
so
you
welcome.
so much.
And they need to know that babies can take this good old JC Tonic also.
Well, if you get the babies on it, they'll have a better chance of staying young. I think that's what happened to me because, look, I burned the candle at both ends, folks, for my teenage 20s and 30s, let me tell you. So I do believe that, as a matter of fact, when we were in school, I was the only one that could end up driving a car after any party because everybody else was too hammered, you know. And I could only do that because I always had a bottle with me. And after the party and before heading home, I'd take a big guzzle of it. Everybody laughed at me, but I took a big guzzle of it. And boy, I was the only one that could see clearly. So it oxygenates quickly. And as we make no claims about this curing anything, we have to make sure we tell everybody this is not a cure. When you hear reports of people's health issues disappearing, that's because the body is getting younger and younger and repairing itself and regenerating itself. This is no cure for the people that say they don't have blood sugar problems or blood pressure problems or arthritis problems anymore. It's because the body has been repairing itself, regenerating itself, and bringing itself back to a time before when it never had those problems. You know, those problems did not start with probably nobody or hardly anybody until you're 50 or thereabouts. And then it just gets worse and worse. So if you can repair the body, regenerate it, all those issues are going to start disappearing. And of course, we have those audios of people telling us exactly that. It's because their bodies are getting younger and younger and getting rid of the problems and repairing and regenerating so that the body functions again the way it used to. So there's no reason for anybody or any of your loved ones or your friends or your strangers in your life that you meet, no reason for them to go through life in pain and despair and unhappiness. Get them on the tonic. And you will be drinking free soon, because that's what we ask everyone to do. Pay it forward. Share this like you've never shared anything, particularly now with everything going on. Let me tell you, through the whole virus thing, all the JC Tonic users, I don't know, I heard of a few that got sick, but most didn't. They boosted their dose. That's because this really, really strengthens the immune system. Let me tell you, folks, when you have a strong immune system, you can go through an awful lot. So get with the program, and as Ruthie said, get your children on it and the grandchildren. It'll save them a lot of grief when they get older. Okay, Ruthie, what else you got to say before we buzz off?
Wow, the brain. Oh, the doctor also been giving me the little tests, like the dementia, the Alzheimer's, and I fly right through that sucker.
They give you the test now, right?
Oh, yes, they always give you the test. You know, you're 80, you're supposed to be dementia, Alzheimer's, and all of that. Not Ruthie. Mine's me.
That's right. And you see, folks, how sharp Ruthie is? It's because her brain is sharp. It is younger.
Yes, it is.
And most people, not most people, everybody who gets on the tonic who has a bit of a foggy brain, all of a sudden it starts to shape up and they're starting to remember again and being less forgetful. We're not curing anything. We're just telling you that as the body repairs itself, it'll repair your brain as well.
Yep.
So there we are, everybody. Of course, as you see, we can go on for the rest of the night. We will let you go to your family and your Sunday evening festivities. And we really appreciate you all being here. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure being with you. We will email this call out to you next week sometime, and we will start preparing for our next wonderful guest who's going to talk about the youth solution. Ruthie, thank you again. It's really, really great that you shared this. It's going to help an awful lot of people.
Yes, without you, I wouldn't be looking like I'm looking, so I thank you.
That's right, you wouldn't. You know, you'd be somewhere else.
Yes, we've been knowing one another since the 80s.
Yeah, you'd be in the pine box by now the way you were looking.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Okay, folks, on that note, as we like to say around here, take an ounce and feel the bounce. Good night, everyone.
Durac Classic Whole Body Tonic is a dietary supplement, not a drug. Therefore, it is useful to affect the structure and or function of your body in various ways. But it is not intended to and will not cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent any disease. Individual testimonials may not be representative of everyone's experience and do not constitute scientific evidence. Durac Corporation does not make any drug or treatment claims for its products.